Yeah, hi team. So we'll just wait for 2 more minutes and then we'll start the session.
Okay.
Yeah, hi team. So I think we can go and continue the session. Let me share my screen. Just give me 1 second. Let me know my mic is working on. Am I audible? Hello, am I audible, team?
Yes,
Anyone?
you are.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Just give me. So we'll go and see that yesterday one first. The data stretch we are trying to do, right? So yeah, this was our integration which we are working on. So in this one, right, like where we got stuck that, okay, like we wanted to insert and then each status we wanted to go and store, right? So if we wanted to store each store data, right? So first we have to do, right? Uh, So up to here, right, it is working fine. So in this one, we put that message. And here we are doing that insert call, run a SQL statement. So we are inserting this one. So what we do, right, we'll come here and we'll create one more variable. So we'll create two global variables here. So this is a global variable, right, which we can go and use across. So what we do, right, so let me go and try to put here first. So it's like we'll go and create this kind of thing, right? So in this one object will create, and in that object we'll go and store that ID. That okay, what is that ID? So suppose one, and then the corresponding message, whether it is created or not, right? So that message it will come here, right? So this is like one object it will create, and for each, right, it will create like this one object, right? And then like this one we will go and put, and we'll go and create one array kind of thing at the end, so that okay, in the array, right, we can go and store all those things. So whatever these will create, right, so all object will go and store here, so that will become the array here. So this is what we'll try to do here. So we'll come here. So first what we do, right, we can go and define the object here. So we can create, and we can say here, or before doing this one, right, let me go and show that confirm. We can go to the mapper output, continue, continue, and response. We'll see how our response is coming. Yeah, so if you see, right, our response is coming like this one, right? So only one message it is coming here, right? So what we do, right, we'll get this employees, and in this each employee, right, so we'll have the employee ID, and then corresponding message we'll get. Or we can do, right, employee name also we can put, and then we can say the message. Right, so that okay, for each record, right, we can go and see that okay, what is the message. So this is that overall message, and this is the output, right, we will go and see. So we can go and take this outside. We can say continue, and continue, and finish. We can come here, save. Now what we do, right, we'll go and create three variables. So those variables, right, it will go and store the value, right? So we can come into this one. So we can say G global underscore employee ID. So this is going to be the string. We can say one more. We can say G underscore employee name. Then we'll go and create one more as G underscore message. So these are the string we have created three, right? Now we'll create one more. What that will do, right? That will contain all these objects, and the data type of this one, right, it is going to be the object, right? So it is the object, and in this one, right, what we'll go and put, right, we'll go and put our, this is the body, right? That okay, the output will come like this one, right? So we can come here, self request response, it will come into this execute wrapper. Okay, why it's not coming? So array object we need to create. So the array object it was created, it should be, okay, we can delete this one, confirm. We have this as a type is object. So this object will take the expression, and that expression will get from where? Variable item, it will be response, execute response, response wrapper, employee. So we can define this as here, and we can say this as like our object, right? We can go into the save. So in this one, right, we can go and delete this one also. We don't need these two things. We'll create our data stretch again. So in this one, right, what we have created, right? We have created the object. So this object will contain the our employees, right? Then we need to create one more, which will contain the complete response. So we can say G underscore response, or we can say that will contain the response array. So we can say response array, and what it will contain, right? It will contain the object, and which object it will contain now? It will contain this object, execute response and response wrapper. Because in the response wrapper, right, we will have those things, right? So we need the response wrapper here. It means like this is a single object. We have created this object, single object, and this is a array of that one. Now we can go and save. Now what we do, right, we'll come here and we'll use the data stretch operator here. So we can write data stretch, and in this one, right, which variable we'll go and use, right? So we'll go and use our G response. So this will use. So this is our object, right? So we'll get G object employees, and in this one, right, what we do, right, we'll go and use the append operator, and in this append operator, right, we'll go and define the values. So from where we will get that value, right? So we'll get the value from so G employee ID, employee name, employee message, it will come. Okay, again it is doing the wrong. Just give me 1 second. I have one code. Let me check that code. I'm Okay. So first what we have to do, right? We have to use the here, not append, we have to use the assign operator. So that okay, we can go and put these values. Then the employee. Okay, delete this one, we'll create new only. Confirm data stretch. So in our G employee ID, we wanted to assign and where it will be available, right? So we are doing the loop, right? So from this one, the record will come. So employee ID will come from this one. Then add message. So second hour is like employee name. So the employee name will come from this one. And then in this case, right? So this is a success scenario, right? So in this, the message is going to be the like a message will be like one only always, right? So we can write that, okay, insertion or inserted successfully. So this is what we will have right here. So we can go and do the save. So again, we are getting the data stretch issue. Clear. Current object employee ID will come into this one. Save. Okay, let us go and delete this one. We'll see this later. So this employee name and message we are able to show, right? So this is what we are doing. Now after this one, right, what we do, we can come and we can write one more data stretch activity here. And in this case, what we wanted to do, right, we wanted to append those things. So where we wanted to append, right, we wanted to append into our object. So this is our object. So in this one, we will say append and what we need to append right here. So we'll go and append our object. So where is this one? So this G object, right, what we have. So this will go and append here. So we can go and use the append here and save. Okay, still we are getting that error. Okay, I think this I again my master. So we'll wrap up this one here only. Maybe like I will prepare this whole integration and then I will show you again. So we can close this one. We can go for the next topic, which is like we wanted to call the packages, right? How we can go and call the package from the integration. So let me go and open the SQL developer. OIC B12, not B12. So this is our integration. Okay. So this is our code right here. So if you see, right, if I will come inside this one, right, so here we will have some packages. So this is what we have the packages. If you see, right, different packages are there. So we'll see how we can go and call these packages in case if you wanted to call, right. So this is my sample package what we have. So if we come into this one, so this is, if you see right, this is a simple package what we have, create or replace package body. We have B16 OIC integration. Then we have this one procedure, and in procedure, right, what we have, right, this procedure. So it will take the input, it will return that output, and then we'll get that message here, right? So this is a simple thing what we have. Or if you want, right, we can go and create again with our one. So we'll create B21, B21 OIC procedure, and we can say B21. So this is what our procedure is, right? So package we have, within that package we have one procedure which will return that output to us, right? So we can go and execute this one. Okay, still it is referencing somewhere B16.
Last line.
B21.
Last.
Yeah, last line. Yes, sorry. So we'll go and do again. So clear this one, clear. So this is our body part, right? So first we need to specify this one, right? Specification we have to go and see. So this what we are able to say, this is the code we have, right? So we can go to the specification first. So this is that specification what we have. So we can copy. So 21. And 21, right? So this is the specification we have created. So what we are doing, right? Simple specification we are creating. One package we are creating. In that one, we are creating one procedure which will have input and which will have that output. Then what is the next one, right? We are creating the body of that one. So in that one, we have written the code. So code, if you see, right, it is a straightforward only. What we have, right? Like just message that, okay, hello, whatever the parameter, and welcome to B21 OIC training. So this is a simple message we have. And if anything goes wrong, right, then the error should come. So we'll go and compile this our package body. Oh, body also got compiled. Now just go and refresh here and see. So if you see B21 OIC is created. Now we'll see how we can go and call this from our integration. So we can come here, create a new integration, application type. We can say B21 underscore OIC underscore. ATP underscore package integration 60. We'll go and put this into B21 OIC and create. Now we'll go and start with our trigger connection. So B21 trigger connection. We can say start, then we can say next. So we can have this as a post method. In the post method, right, what will happen, right? Endpoint we have to give here slash start. Then we can go and configure the request payload and response payload. We can say continue. Then in the request payload, we can come here and we can say that, okay, we will pass the name here. Name and continue. Continue. And in the response, right, we'll get that output or we'll get that message. We can say a message. It will come, right? We can say continue, continue, and finish, right? So this is what we have configured from high level that, okay, what it will do, right? Now we can go and save the flow. What is the next thing, right? We need to call that ATP call here, right? So we can come to this one. We can go and call our ATP procedure here. we can say HTTP call. And this time, right, what we'll use, right, so till now, right, we have seen we can go and do that operation on the table. We can run a SQL statement. Now we'll see the last option, invoke a stored procedure. We can say continue. So first we have to go and select the schema. So it is inside the admin schema. Once we do this one, right, then what will happen, right, we have to go and see what is our package, right? So where is our package? So B21 OIC. So we can go and select that procedure. Now once we select that procedure, right, then corresponding procedure will come, right? So this is our own procedure. And once we select this one also, then below, right, what will happen, right, the input and output parameter will go and load, right? So we can go and see. If suppose in any of the package, right, if multiple codes are there, right, maybe in any of these if it is available. So if you see, right, in this one 2 is available, right? So what will happen, right? It will go and show both. So out of those, right, we can go and select one. If you see this one is the one, another one. If you see, right, in this one, validate supply records, right? So if you see different, like it will be available. So we can go and see our one OIC processor. You can come, we can select our one. So we just have to go into that way that, okay, what it will be. Now we can say continue. Then once we come, right, so this is our summary page. So in the summary page, if you see, right, one note is kind of written here. So our procedure should complete within 4 minutes. If suppose it is not completing within the 4 minutes, right, then what will happen, right? It will go into the timeout case, right? So it means like if it is making more, right? So in those scenarios, right, what we need to do, right? We need to create the asynchronous procedures, right? It means like we will just call, but will not wait for the output and all, right? So those things we need to take care. If you are expecting the response, right, so that should be completed within 4 minutes. If it is not completing in 4 minutes, right, then what will happen, right, your integration will go into the error state. So that is what we have here. Now we can say finish. So we have done this one, right? Now what we'll do, right, if you see, if we come here, right, so whatever the parameter was there, right, so that parameter will come here. If you see, this is our parameter, right? So we can go and map here our name to input name. We can go and do the validate. So validation successful. Now we can go back again. We can go to the mapper part. And in this one, right, what we have, right, we have the response wrapper. We will have the message, right? So from where this message will come? So this message will come from this ATP call response, right? So from it will come. So we can go and map this output to the message. We can do the validate again. So validate. So it is done, right? Now what we do, right, we can go back and we can go and do the save. So this is right what we are passing the input. That input we are passing to the procedure. Procedure is returning that output, and that output will go and see the print. So we can come here and we can define the business identifier. So what is our business identifier? We can come here and this name itself we can go and define as a business identifier. We can go and save. Now what we do, right, we can come back again and we can go and activate and we'll do the testing of this one. So we can say activate and save. Come back, we'll say run. So we can come to the body and here we can write Sam. And if I will go and run, right, what will happen? So the output will come from the database. If you see, hello Sam, welcome to B21 OIC training. Have a nice day, right? So this is how it is working. So this is how we need to call the procedures in case if you wanted to call any procedure which is written in the database, right? And if we need to call those things, so this is how we can go and call or we can go and trigger. Only one thing which you have to keep in mind that, okay, it should not take more than 4 minutes, sorry. If it will take more than 4 minutes, right, what will happen, right? Our integration will go into the error state that, okay, timeout issue happen, right? So we have to keep in mind that one, that, okay, it should not cross that 4 minutes. So any other questions in this one if anyone has?
Yeah, so if it goes beyond 4 minutes, like how we should change this integration?
Then, yeah, no, integration is going to be same only. Then in that case, right, we need to that ATP thing, right? So the ATP we need to call like asynchronous. It means we just have to start that one and then we'll not wait for that one, right? Then
Yeah.
in the integration or maybe in some other integration we can see. So in that PL SQL code, whatever you write, so in that one, right, we have to use some flag and all, right? So that, okay, once
Yeah.
that is completed, right, you can go and update that, okay, yes, this record got completed and this is a flag, right? Now, once that is completed, right, what will happen, right? Another integration will go and start. So based on the flag, it will go and start that, okay, this code got completed and then it will go and make that entry.
Okay.
Okay. So it means
But
like in
where
the
we are
database, right?
setting that, no, where we are setting
What?
it as synchronous, where are we setting it as synchronous, asynchronous?
No, we will not set. So there is no different thing asynchronous or synchronous. It is a way of implementing. If you wait for that output, right? If you see in the integration, right? In this one,
Mhm.
right? In this one, right? We are getting the return parameters, right? So return parameter is what, right? It will go and wait for that output, right? Suppose if your package, right, or processor will not have any output parameters, right? What will happen, right?
Mhm.
It will go and start executing, correct?
Yeah,
It will not wait for
understood
the,
that.
yeah.
But say this processor itself, like if you put some sleep for 5 minutes or so, can we check that? Right?
Oh, we know no need to put the sleep and all, right? Because you don't know, right, how much time it will take. Suppose today take 2 minutes, right? Tomorrow it can take 10 minutes based on the data and all, right? So if you have that specific thing, yes, you can go and put the sleep. That, okay, it will always that this is a max time, it will go and complete. So in that case, right, you can go and put the sleep. Like we have the wait, right? So we can go and put wait. But in the case of PLC, right, we are not sure, right, how much time it will go and take, right? Sometimes it can take 1 minute based on the data. Sometimes it can take 10 minutes, right? So in that case, we should design that PLC procedure asynchronously. So it means like we can go and start and then we can go and maintain some table. In that table, right, we can say that, okay, it got started, right? Then what will happen, right?
Mhm.
Once that complete your PLC code complete, right? So at the end, we can say that, okay, the row got updated and it is completed, right? Then what will happen, right? You can go and write separate integration, which will do the pull. So whenever the status will change, right? So that integration will go and start automatically. So which will we see next? That okay on the table, right? If any value will change, right? How the integration will go and start automatically.
Yeah.
I hope you got into this one, right?
Yeah, still didn't understand. Like, say, if this particular processor itself is taking more than 4 minutes, right? Can we see how it is
Yes.
going into the error also? How we can handle that?
Uh,
Actually,
4
my
minutes more
question
than that one,
is,
right? So we need some data and all. But if you see, right? Okay, in
no,
this
my
procedure,
question
right?
is,
Like, no, I got your
my
question. Yeah, I
should not
got
go
your
into
question.
error. That error handling part, it should not go into error. I understand
Yeah,
that
it will not.
just call the processor and leave it. That's what, right?
Yeah,
But sometimes
that's what.
that yeah, the processor won't close and it goes beyond 4 minutes. Then this integration goes into error, right? So
Yeah, it will go
that
into the error.
yeah, just to
So
replicate
yeah,
that
so
scenario one.
yeah, so when it is more than 4 minutes, it will take, right? So you have to redesign your integration, this one procedure, so that, okay, it will have the only the request. It will not give you any response, right? So it means asynchronous. Then in that procedure, what you can do, right? When you start, right, you can maintain, one more table kind of thing. In that one, right, you can say that, okay, this procedure got started and it is in the running mode, right? And once it is completed towards the end, right, you can go and update the status again that, okay, it got completed. Now what will happen, right? Suppose we have one table already, right? Our select star from test underscore p21 underscore 01. So if you see, this is our table we have, right? So what I will do, right? I will go and in this one, right, I will go and put one more column as a status. So this is our table. We can come here, action, add column. We can write status. It is variable. We can write 20 characters, apply. So status got updated. Now if you come and see into the data, right, it is a completely empty right here. Now what we do, right, like in your integration when it will start, right, we can update the status as draft or started or anything, right? Then your integration once completed, right, you can go and update the status again here. So what will happen, right? Now we will go and create one integration in that one, right? If the data is changing into this one, right? So our integration keep looking for this one, right? So that is like we have the polling, right? But okay, it keeps looking into this one. And if any status changes to that one, right, it will go and start that integration, right? So we'll go and see that one.
Is there a way we can put the integration in wait state rather than
Yes.
for timeout?
Yeah, we can put. So if you see, right?
And yeah. And
but again, in that case, right, you should always be know that, okay, if you know that predefined time, right, that okay, it will take this much, then yes, you can go and put that wait. In that one, there's no issue. But when you are not sure, right, how much time it will take. So if you come here, right, if you see, we have the wait, right?
Yeah.
So we can go and put here wait. And then you can go and enter here the seconds, how much time you want it. So you have to enter into the seconds, that whatever the value you will have, right? Like suppose 1 minute, right? Or 2 minutes, right? So 60 seconds, 120 seconds. So that you have to go and enter here. Then what will happen, right? Your integration will wait here. For example, I will put here 120, right?
Yes.
And we can go and do save, right? So what will happen, right? My integration will come and execute here, but it will wait for 2 minutes here, 120 seconds.
Yeah, it will wait for 120 seconds and it will proceed further, right? The thing
it
is,
will proceed
it should keep checking every 120 seconds, and once it's completed, it should go further. That's how.
Yeah, so you can write the loop, right? You can write the loop. Yeah. Again, right? It's completely up to the design, what design you want it to do. Normally in the ATP call, right, we don't used to do this because it will take unnecessary the time, right? If your integration keeps running for unnecessary. So due to that reason, right, we used to create that asynchronous, but again, it is completely up to your logic. If that is the logic it required, right? So you can go and handle. So it's like we know, right, all the now, if suppose you're writing any function or anything, right? So we know all the concept, right? How we can write the loop, how we can do that wait and all, right? Now it's up to the designer, right? What type of code he will write, right? So we have all that options available. Now it is up to the developer who, like which option you want it to do. If suppose customers say that, okay, no, we don't want to make change to the ATP code and all, right? So then yes, we have to go with this code only, this logic only, that okay, we have to wait, we have to see, and then again.
Yeah, because say in complex integrations, right? Many tables we might be updating and get back the status, like in Node2C cycle or anything, right? So for every update, we have to make it asynchronous and wait.
Normally for update and all, right, it will not take more time. When it will take more than 4 minutes, right? When you do like suppose some bulk files and all, right? So suppose you have 1,000 records or 2,000 records, right? And then you are doing, right? So those time it will take. If you do that update, insert and all, right? So that time it will not take much time. Even the complex integration PL SQL procedure also, right, will not take more times. But again, it's completely up to your design that, okay, in case if it is crossing, then yes, you have to take care of those things.
Yeah, so you mean for every return status active, we need to create a new integration and keep polling?
Yeah, so polling concept also we have. So yes, suppose if it is taking more, right, then what you can do, right, you that much code you can go and write there, and then right once that code complete, right, then your second integration will start based on the status. and it will go and fetch all the informations.
Yeah, so rather than that, can you open that integration was what we have created, where we have put the weight, right?
Oh, yes.
So can we put the weight here and like a stop, like we do in Oracle workflows, right? Stop it here, and once the procedure is completed, can I call back this particular state and make the flow continue? This integration, can I call back?
No, this integration you cannot start again. So you are
I
telling
mean,
that, okay, this integration you can go and put into the pause, right?
yes,
And once
yes.
that is complete, no, that we cannot do. So once it is started, it will complete. We cannot go and put pause. Like only we can wait till some time so that, okay, it will go not complete at the same time, but we cannot do the pause and then on based on some other right, we can resume that one.
Yeah,
So
because
that will happen
you
in the
might know
workflow
that.
because in that one, right, it is human task and all right. So it will wait for some action,
Hmm,
but in the integration, right, it will work automatically, right? So we will not have that one.
okay. But from database, we can call any integration, right?
Yes,
From
you can call from the database you wanted. Yes, you can call. Like at the end, it is a REST API, right? So from
yeah.
the PL SQL code, right, you can call the REST API. So you can go and trigger this integration through the database also.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll go and create that another integration. So we'll use a P21 underscore. So ATP trigger will write and 61 P21 OIC and we'll say create. In this one, right, what we'll do, right, the starting point, right, will not use the starting point here trigger. Here we are going to use the starting point as a database only, right? Because this integration, right, who will go and start, right? This integration will be start on the database only. So we can say DB, then we can say start name, we can give anything. So if you see, right, operation type, right? So when we use this database connection as a trigger, right, what will happen? Only we will get this one, right? Operation type as poll for new or change records, right? So it means like poll will happen. We'll go create, then which table we need to do, right? So we can go and add the table. So we can select the schema admin, then we can write here test percentage. Then we can go and do the search here. And what will happen, right? So this is our table, what we have. So we can go and put this table and we can say continue. So our table got selected. Now what we have to do, right? If you see right here, these things, right? So if multiple tables, then relationships. So this is the thing which will go and decide this one right here. So we can click polling strategy, right? We can click into edit here. Then if you see right, logical delete, right? So on which column, right, it will be. So from this one, right, we can say which column it will go and decide, right? So we can say status is the one, right? It will go and do. Then if you see right, we have three values: read values, unread values, and rejected. And then polling frequency, right? After how much time, right, the database base will go and check your table, right? So maybe we can say right here 10 seconds. So every 10 second, right, what will happen? It will go and do the polling. Then this value, right, read value, what is the value which we wanted to go and check, right? So here we can say, so in this one, right, what I will do, right, I will go and start three different records. I will write here graph, and in this one I will write accepted. And in this one, right, we will write rejected. rejected, and this accepted, right? So these three values I have put, right? Now what will happen, right? Our integration, right? We'll go and check here which value we wanted to do, right? Let me just put this one, right? So if you see draft we have, accepted we have, and rejected we have, right? So what it will go, right? It will go and check. If you say rejected, right? So these values it will not go and check. So if you see, right, so whichever has a rejected, right? So those values, right, we don't want it to see right here. So we can say rejected here. So it means like our integration will not check any columns where the status is rejected, right? So those columns it will not go and check, right? Then it has read value and unread value. So let me go and put here first a draft. And I will see continue. So what will happen, right? Whatever you do right here. So after that one, right, the query will be generated. So from the query, right, you can do here. So what is your polling query, right? So polling query, what it become, right? Select ID, name, job, salary, where is status not equal to draft or status is null, right? So it means these things it will do. And after the update, once you read, right, so it will go and change the your value to the draft, right? So it means this is what we don't need, right? We wanted to change this to the completed, right? So it means like we can go back, we can go and modify our polling strategy. And here, right, what we need to do, right? Here we wanted to put accepted, right? That means like after read, right, what it will happen, right? So we can continue now, continue. Now if you see, right, your query, what will have become? It will go and fetch all the records which are not accepted, right? Not equal to accepted or null records it will go and accept. And after you read, right, what it will do, right, it will go and update those status with the accepted, right? So that is the meaning of the read value. It means once your record is read, right, what is that value it will become, right? We can go and do the finish. Let it complete. Okay, I think it got into that. Let us refresh. Yeah, it got completed. Let me go and check that one. Continue, continue. So it will check that status not equal to accepted, and after that SQL, right, it will go and update. So that is the correct. We can do the cancel. Then we can go and add here trigger. Business identifier we can go and add. So ID we can go and define the business identifier. We can do the save. So now any logic you wanted to write here, right? So you can go and write that logic here. So suppose you call some integration, right? And once that integration got completed, right? We wanted to update the, like we wanted to notify that, okay, the integration got completed, right? Or anything else we wanted to do, right? So that thing we can go and put after this one, right? So that is what we have here. So in this one, right, I will not go and write any logic. We'll see the testing of this one, right? So we'll see the testing of this one, that, okay, how this will go. In case if you wanted to send some email, right, we can write. So it is now normal integration. What is our normal integration, right? So any logic, right? If you wanted to do some another PL SQL code you wanted to call, or some other activity you wanted to do, right, you can go and do that activity. So for time being, right, what I will do, I will just go and add the logger message. That, okay, it will go and add the log message here. And what it will do, right, we can check that, okay, whichever ID will come, right, just go and print that ID only. Save. We can come out and we can go and do the activate of this one. Activate, refresh. Now we can go. So if you see, right, it is activated. Now if you see it, we cannot go and run this one, right? But what we do, right, we can just go and do the track instances, because this is going to be start automatically. So if you see, right, this got triggered this so many times, right? Why it got triggered so many times? Because condition was like it will put the null and not accepted. right? So if you see, it was printing ID here. So for each record, right, the integration will run one time, right? Now if you come here, right, so if you see that previously the value was null, right, and draft, accepted and rejected. So if you see 23 and 24, right, so let me go and refresh this one, refresh. So if you see it, all become the accepted here, right? It means it has read all the values and it will become this one, right? This is what it will do. If you see it, that accepted also, rejected record also, it got read and it got modified, right? So that we need to put into the unread value. So we put into the rejected, right? So I think the rejected is not working. We need to put that into the unread value. So I will come back here. Activate. We can write this integration again. Continue. Edit. Edit. And here it we can go and put this rejected value, unread values. Now we can say continue and continue. What is the query to become? If you see, okay, where I have updated unread values. So unread value, like it means which status we wanted to read. So if you wanted to put a specific, right? So previously, right, what was happened, right? We have not put anything, right? So it has taken those null records. So these are the records which we need to read. If you put here draft, right, then what we'll do, right? Sorry. If you put here draft, right, what will happen? It will go and read the draft only. So for example, here I will write draft. Here I will do accepted. And we'll say continue. So now what will happen, right? It will go and read the draft values, right? So it will go and read the draft values, and after the read, right, it will become the updated. So now it will not go and read the rejected values also. So we can do finish and save. Go and do this integration again. Activate. Refresh. We can go and track the instances. So now what we'll do, right, we'll go and modify the code here. So as of now, right, everything is this one, right? So first let us go and make any row as a rejected column. And we can do the commit. So it got rejected. Now let us go and refresh. So if you see, right, it is not reading those rejected rows now, right? Because now we have not put the condition, right? So it will just go and read only the draft values. Rejected will become the rejected only. Now, for example, I will go into this one and I will write here draft. And draft, right? So now if you go and refresh it, so it will go and pick this draft record in next 10 seconds. So if you see, it got picked the ID 4 and it got completed. And now if I will go and refresh it, so this will be changed to the accepted. So this got changed to the accepted. If you go and put this as a null, right? So let us see whether it will pick and not. So refresh. So refresh, keep refreshing. So this will not go and pick this value because now we have written the query specifically, right? So it will just go and pick only the draft records, right? It will pick the draft records and what will happen, right? It will go and convert them into the accepted value, right? So that is what we have the query and that is how the query will work. So by combining these two things, right? So as I told, right, like if it is more than 4 minutes, it will take, right? So we can go and use that one, and then we can go and use this polling thing. So by combining both, right, our integration we can go and achieve. So any question into this one if anyone has? Okay. So if no question, right, then with this one, right, we are completing our all the database concepts. So we'll wrap up the today's session here only. We'll tomorrow see the new topic. And if I will able to complete the data stretch, so we'll use that also.
So I have a doubt.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Suppose we are implementing any project for a client, then how to get the access to Oracle SaaS environment? Like what will be the steps involved?
Oracle SaaS. So whoever will be the admin of that instance, right? Who has that admin or security control. So they will go and create your credentials for you, and then they will share you the instance URL and then the username and password. Then you can go and access.
Okay, so they will provide us.
Yeah, like whoever, because like for the OIC instance or for anything, right? Directly we cannot go and get that access, right? Somebody will create the account for us, and then only we can go and do. So whoever has a admin credentials, right, or who will become the admin, right? So they will share or they will create the account for the team members who are going to work. Because in one project, right, there is a possibility 10 people will work, 5 people will work, right? So by default,
Yeah.
not everyone will have access, or not like no one will have access. So whoever will work, right? So they will have the access. So suppose you are the OIC developer, right? But database thing, right? You will not work. For example, right? They will say that, okay, no, you cannot go and do any changes into the database. So what they will do, they will not give the database access to you, right? So it is completely up to the database or the whoever is your admin, right? So they will decide like which access to whom they wanted to give.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions if we have?
And in general, like we have this apps schema, right? Apps we'll use in e-business. So we'll have access to apps schema.
No. Again, it depends upon the grant. If your user has that grant access, right, you will have access. If they have not provided, then you will not have. Right?
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, so if no question, then I think we can go and wrap up the session today here only. Thank you all.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.